Direct to Science. A podcast by NAWA, the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange.
My name is Devon Fuller. I'm from South Africa. I study at Uniwersytet Wrocławski in the Department of Biotechnology. I'm doing my master's degree in medical biotechnology, and my thesis is currently focusing on isolation of actinobacteria from soil in Poland.
How did you hear about NAWA Scholarship, and where did the idea of studying in Poland came from?
Well, it started actually in 2019. I was looking at various countries around the world to study, and one of them was Poland. But at that time in high school, I was also interested generally in Slavic culture, Slavic language. And I had a bit of a dream to become a Russian translator. And when I looked at studies in Russia, in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, and it didn't seem quite right for me. And since around 12 years old, science has always been my first passion. And when I saw programs in Warsaw and in Wrocław, I knew that Poland just seemed like the place that I had to go to. So I completed my bachelor's degree. And after completing my degree, I decided that I wanted to thank my parents for taking such good care of me and affording me this opportunity. So I asked them if I could become financially independent and take care of myself. So of course it's quite difficult to fund studies when you're a sole provider. And I worked at a prestigious bank, BNY Mellon, for a year in Wrocław. And I really wanted to get back to studies. So when I was looking around on the Go Poland study website, looking at my university website, I found information about NAWA. And when I had a look at it and I saw that there was an opportunity for people from my country, I was ecstatic, to say the least. But I wasn't very hopeful. I've eventually got accepted into the program, and it was just the best news of my life.
How do you see the studies here? Are they up to your expectations? Are you satisfied with the universities, with the environment? How do you assess it?
I can say that overall I'm quite satisfied, especially that compared to my own country, as great as it has its flaws like every country. And one of them for me was at least in education, that I wouldn't be able to easily achieve the things which I want to achieve. Compared to that, Poland is great for education. In fact, since 2019, I've even noticed that things got even better. For example, when I first started my bachelor's degree, there wasn't very many opportunities for foreign students, especially those who struggle with Polish or only speak English. Now, my university has an international student organization. I recently became a board member of the science club at my university faculty to try and help integrate foreign students. So I think that it's very welcoming. It's very friendly. Of course, you will always have some situations or people which might not be perfect, but that's everywhere. I think that if you come with an open mind, if you give it a chance and enjoy it for what it is, you will find that you will really enjoy being here.
And what do you think about NAWA? Is it good enough, sufficient, easy enough, or over-bureaucratic and horrible? How do you see it?
To be honest, I think NAWA is great. At first, I was just amazed that the Polish government and the Polish agency is willing to help people from other countries, because the basis of my scholarship is actually to return to my country and develop industry in biotechnology or related science fields. So it was just incredible to me, and it's really just the best of the human condition to help each other for a better world for all of us, and not just see each other as countries or races or ethnicities. Practically, the application process was very straightforward, very easy. The information was easy to understand. All communications were very quick, very easy to access, easy to reach out to people. You get paid every month on time, which makes a big difference for students. And even organizing an event like this, where we can all come and meet each other face to face and share a little bit of our experience, is absolutely incredible for me. I never realized that something like this can actually happen in real life.
You've mentioned your dreams. What are your dreams, actually?
My dreams have changed a lot over the last few years. I was never sure if I wanted to stay in Poland. I thought that I would travel the world by studies, but it's kind of grown on me, and I've learned to love it here and love the people, love the culture. Of course, I miss things from back home, But I think going forward, I'm looking at doing a PhD in Poland. Actually, one of the main reasons goes back to something I've already mentioned, and that's the people. So at my faculty, of course, not everything's perfect. As I mentioned, it's not like that anywhere in the world. But the teachers themselves, the administrative staff, even the people from NAWA have shown me that this is an environment where people are willing to work together with me and me with them to develop a future. And what that future can be, well, of course, I want to be a scientist who discovers the next novel antibiotic or something, but that's a far reach. And I think that I would be very happy to stay as I am right now because I'm quite happy with my life. I'm quite happy with the opportunities I've gotten, but definitely a PhD is on the books and possibly working at biotech industry in Poland because I see the exponential growth and development of this industry has taken off in Poland, and I'd really love to be a part of that.
Do you see practical opportunities to do that when you finish your master's degree? Do you see doable or feasible path of moving into PhD and then moving forward?
Of course, it's quite competitive as anywhere in the world, but I know other international students who have managed to land PhD positions. I find that the teachers are kind of, at least in my experience, if you have the skills and you have the capabilities and the willingness, of course, you can get a position. The other nice thing that not every country supports PhD students by means of funding. And in Poland, it's quite common that PhD students are funded quite nicely to pursue their academic pursuits. Furthermore, Poland is so integrated and so connected with the rest of Europe and, even through the NAWA program, through other countries in Africa and Asia. And through this means there's even more opportunity to do Erasmus programs, to do internships with our neighbors in Germany or in Slovakia, for example, where there's also quite good biotech industries. So overall, I think it's quite accessible if you're willing to work for it. I think that generally studying abroad looks very glamorous on the surface, and it's not what you would imagine. That's not to say that it's not great, but your idea of what you have when you leave your home country is very different to what you experience, and actually for the better. You grow a lot as a person traveling abroad and learning abroad. When it comes to Poland, I think Poland is really great for many reasons. Practically, Poland is safe. It's also a very friendly country, and I know that might go against the stereotype, but what I found that stereotypically they say Polish people are very cold. But what I found is stereotypes are not accurate, and Polish people are more honest and down to earth. So they're not going to be friendly with you just because you exist. You kind of have to show your worth, earn their trust, show that you're not a time waster. So for that, I really love Poland because it makes it easier to achieve things without going around the bush. I think I would recommend NAWA to anybody who qualifies for any of the many programs which NAWA has, because if you're like me and think you don't have a chance, well, you really might, and it might be life-changing for you. It goes even deeper than just funding my studies. When I was in my bachelor studies, I worked hard, I got good grades, but I realized that I wasted so much time on something that matters very little in the grand scheme of things, going out, worrying about your clothes and stuff. But now, after I got the opportunity from NAWA, I decided I'm going to say yes to everything. And it's opened so many doors for me and shown me that I'm so much more capable of things than I realized. And for that reason, anybody who wants to, or even thinks they have a light chance, just apply. Because it's yes or no, and you've got nothing to lose.
Can you describe what the program is all about?
Dr Wojciech Karczewski, Director General of the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange.
Banach Scholarship Programme is aimed at international students from developing countries, especially those from Africa, Asia and the Balkans.
How many students do you have already?
Today at the International Students' Day we organized for specifically this program. We invited 100 students only from this program.
And what's the idea? Why Poland? Why NAWA is interested in getting students from outside the EU?
Many talented people come to Poland from far away, often from places where Poland might seem very distant and unfamiliar. And it's really inspiring to see the kind of students who are willing to take on the challenge of studying in our country.
Can you explain other ideas or other programs that NAWA would have?
Regarding Banach Scholarship Programme, what is important, thanks to another program created by NAWA known as Welcome to Poland, our universities are ready to support these international students. They provide full assistance, including special welcome centers where students can get help, make connections and settle in more easily. So the programs are complementary. So this is very important.
And let's assume that students can hear us, that they are listening to us at the moment. What would be your message here? What would you say to a student in South America or in Africa who is just listening to us now?
Come to Poland. Poland is a fantastic country with great communication, a very developed country in the high level of education. What is important, our diploma is as important as other diplomas in European Union. So please come to Poland. We will be very happy to have you on board in our country.
My name is Marina, Bazano Sammartino. I'm from Argentina, Buenos Aires, and I'm here studying in Politechnica Wrocławska.
And what do you study?
I study business intelligence as a master's degree.
And why here?
Well, why Poland? First of all, it was my dream to study abroad. My mom is her favorite country, actually, Poland. I had the privilege to travel a lot here. When I started checking the program studies, it was my first choice. Then I started thinking of how to finance it, and then I found NAWA and the scholarship. So, well, basically it saved my dream, and I came here because of that.
How long you've been here?
I've been here for 9 months.
And the whole 2 or 3 years, what's your plan?
Here, the master's degree is a year and a half. I'm finishing in the next semester. So yeah, that's the plan, finishing here.
How did you find out about NAWA?
There is a big community of Poles in Argentina, so I contacted a few, I made friends there, and they presented the programs there. So I found out about this scholarship program in particular, and well, it was perfect. It was directed to also Argentinians and really open, and yeah, and I applied. I waited for more or less a year to know if I was going to come or not.
Do you think that it was easy, difficult? Is it sufficient? How do you see the program?
I mean, for me, it was life-saving, really. So in my case, first, the application part, it was a lot of paperwork, but after that, I just had to wait. And as soon as I get my acceptance, it was like really easy. They guide me on everything. I had a lot of support from NAWA to get every information that I needed. For now, I'm perfectly fine with everything that I'm receiving. I'm really grateful. So yeah, for me, it's complete.
Do you feel also satisfied by your studies here in Poland, by Wrocław, by people around? What's your impression?
Absolutely. I'm really happy that I chose this university, Politechnica Wrocławska. It's amazing. The people there are amazing. Not only my classmates, also professors are really inclusive. I have Polish professor and international, also foreign professors. They are all amazing with me and with every student, to be honest. And I'm also really lucky that in my English program, more than 70% are Poles. So I also got the chance to get along with them. So I made a lot of friends here, and I'm really happy about it. And the program is what I was looking for, so I'm really happy about that.
And how is your Polish?
A1 getting there, A2. I think I can speak Polish in Biedronka, just saying dzień dobry, dziękuję, and that's what I can do. But actually, listening, I'm getting even better. I think I'm getting context, so I'm happy about that. I'll get there sometime.
What are your plans for the future when you finish your degree?
Now that I'm working on my thesis, my supervisor is encouraging me to do a PhD here. So it's something that I'm thinking about. I'm planning to stay in Poland a little bit longer. I'm really happy here for now, so I would love to stay and work here, but I'm not completely sure what I'm going to do. I also have a lot of friends here, and I have a boyfriend here. So yeah, for now, I'm staying in Wrocław. I really love the city.
Do you see opportunities to finance your PhD or to work at the university? How do you see kind of transition from NAWA to the future, to the next step?
Well, I'm not sure how it's in other universities, but at least in mine, it's really inclusive and it's really accessible because they give you a grant to do your PhD and to study your PhD. So you get like a minimum wage salary, but it's really, really great to start doing your PhD. After 2 years, you can give classes and increase that amount. So if I'm going to apply for the PhD, I think that covers it. I'm going to be perfectly fine in that sense. So yes.
Can you have a message to other students who think about this path?
Well, especially for Argentinians, because it's the people that I know, to go out there, look for opportunities. Here in Poland specifically, people are much nicer than they are portrayed all over the world. They are not cold. The weather, yes, it is really, really cold, so get a coat and get good shoes. But everything else, it's amazing and you'll feel comfortable, you'll meet amazing people, so come. I'm really honored to be here and I'm really grateful. I want to say hi to everybody in Politechnika Wrocławska. Thank you.
What do you think about inviting foreign students to Poland?
Professor Andrzej Szeptycki, Undersecretary of State in the Ministry of Science and Higher Education, responsible for international cooperation.
Internationalization is one of the key features of contemporary higher education and research. It is more than necessary to achieve excellence in these two areas because challenges we deal with as researchers, topics we research, have an international character. Just think about COVID-19 or about AI. So this flow of ideas, flow of people is necessary just to have a better understanding of the topics we research. And this flow of people includes both students and researchers. Now, internationalization measured by the number, by the percentage of foreign students coming to a university or coming to a particular country is one of the popular systems of measurement, how good the quality of education in this particular university or in this particular country is. In other terms, if you want to have good quality universities, they must receive foreign students.
And those are students from outside the EU, actually. This program is dedicated to people from outside the EU. Is there any added value in this approach?
The basic idea of the Banach program is that it is an instrument of our foreign policy, of our development aid. Through this Banach program addressed to African, Asian, some post-Soviet states, we are helping them. This is the basic idea. However, we could add some other arguments. We, as Poland, will probably not attract so many top students from US or from Western Europe. However, through this scholarship program, through the selection process, we are able to find good prospective students from these African, Asian, Middle East states, students who will first contribute to the studying programs they join, but later who will possibly become PhD students, researchers in Poland, or maybe AI engineers, or maybe in some cases, doctors. So in other terms, through this program, we are looking for the best young people from these developing countries to attract them to Poland, to teach them, and then some of them will go back to their countries. So this is this element of aid I was speaking about. Some of them will stay on our Polish or our EU labor market, helping us to cope with the demographic decline, but also contributing to the development of highly educated society.
How do you couple this educational need and educational program with migration control and visa programs? Because it has to work together, hand in hand, in order to facilitate this type of program.
Currently, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is working on a new law which is to deal with the deficiencies of the visa system. It is one of the follow-ups to the previous government visa scandal. We are cooperating with MFA on this new legislation framework. This new law will include some provisions dealing with problems of students or fake students or not enough qualified students who would like to come to Poland. I wouldn't like to go too much into the details because we are now currently in the process of discussing some details of this new law. So it may happen I will present you some details, and in a month something slightly different will come to the Parliament from the Council of Ministers. However, for example, there will be mandatory check if a potential student applying for the Polish visa, if he or she speaks English, or Polish if such a student wants to join a Polish-speaking program, because it happens, and I can confirm it, being a professor of the University of Warsaw, that sometimes you have students who got enrolled to study in Poland, who are paying for that, 2,000-3,000 euros, but at the same time, unfortunately, they don't speak English. This is a challenge, putting it diplomatically, both for the student but also for the professor who has to deal with such a person. This is just one example of the requirement we agreed on to put in this new MFA law on the visas.
And the last thing, if you could have a message to potential students who might be listening to us now, can you say a few words to the potential beneficiaries or to people who think about applying for the scholarship?
I would like to encourage you to apply for NAWA scholarship programs so that you can come to study in Poland. Poland is, since 2004, a member of the European Union, which means in particular that your diplomas will be recognized all over the EU, and in some cases also, for example, in the United States. Second, Poland is member of EU, it's also member of the Schengen area. So once you come here, once your stay is fully legalized, you will be able to travel freely all across European Union, so that you can visit Germany, France, Italy, or some other countries. Studies in Poland are relatively cheap, whether you have a scholarship or not. I mean, the costs of living are lower than in Western Europe or in the US. For students who don't have a scholarship, the tuition fees are also lower than in Western countries. So this is an important asset. Besides, political and economic situation in Poland is stable. I mean, we don't have any major social protests. You can go out in Warsaw or in Krakow or in Poznań, Gdańsk. You can go out with your friends in the night. It's safe. You can make it from one pub to another with no problems. Climate is moderate. In summer, it's not too hot. And many people, for example, from the Gulf region, appreciate it, coming even for holidays with their families here to Poland to enjoy especially the Polish mountains, to see forests, the trees there, but also the snow. In the winter, it's somehow cooler, but still it's not too cold. So this is also an asset of our country. All this, once again, makes Poland a very attractive place to study, especially if you receive a scholarship from NAWA.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I am a master's student studying in Krakow. I'm from Colombia.
Why Poland?
I decided Poland because of the great opportunity that NAWA had with the Banach Scholarship. It was a great opportunity to get out my comfort zone, to go to another continent, another country, in an international environment with a culture that I was interested to know.
What exactly do you study?
I studied microbiology in Colombia and I studied biotechnology in Krakow, in Jagiellonian University.
How did you hear about NAWA, about this program?
I had one professor that was showing me opportunities to study abroad, to pursue the next level of education for me.
Was it difficult to get the scholarship, the bureaucracy, the whole procedure from the idea and finding out about it to really getting in here?
At first, it can be overwhelming, like all the steps that you have to start doing. But as soon as I started getting the documents that were required to get the scholarship, it was really easy to maintain in contact and to get paperwork done, the visa approval. I got all the documents accepted.
What do you think about studying in Poland, in Krakow?
Krakow is a very international city. I have met a lot of friends, Polish friends and friends from all over the world. The Jagiellonian University is a really, really good university, and the opportunities that studying in Poland brought me has been a plethora of opportunities.
How do you see, is the scholarship kind of enough? It covers your life here, that you kind of feel comfortable doing what you came here to do?
I think that it is enough to study and to pursue your studies. But I worked before coming here and I had some savings that I spent knowing the other cities and traveling through Poland. So in that way, it covers all your life expenses. But if you want to go to another cities or to do some tourism and to know more about the Polish culture, maybe it's required to have a little bit more of money.
Does it allow you to, let's say, work outside, as obviously many students around the world do it? How does it work for you?
It is quite accessible. You can't apply to different restaurants or different companies where you don't need the language. At least for my case, I don't know Polish, so it was really hard to find a job that would allow me to study and to work with a great life balance.
Are you satisfied with your studies, with the university, with the way it works?
I came with zero expectations. I mean, of course, when you are traveling from overseas, you have a lot of fears, a lot of insecurities, a lot of dreams. When I arrived here, I just let myself be surprised. The study program that I'm doing right now is one program that I am enjoying a lot. And the different opportunities that the university and working and living here, all these opportunities all together has been a really amazing experience.
Do you think, when you finish the studies, do you plan to kind of continue your Polish adventure in any way?
I think that I want to continue. I have already a PhD study opportunity to do here in the Jagiellonian University. And I am really in touch with a lot of professors. The professors are really helpful, so I really liked the connection that I have with them, and everything has been really amazing in terms of cooperation. I am really happy with my experience, and I motivate any student that is considering a study in Poland.
You have been listening to Direct to Science, a podcast by NAWA, the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange. It was a free-range production.